So the Autel charger is installed. All right, I know you guys have been waiting for this video for a while. It's the Autel AC MaxiCharger with the separate holster for the charger. I'm going to do a permanent install of this. I'm going to show you how the install was done and then go through the various features of this box. It's awesome. The performance is great. And then the app and the over-the-air updates, there's a lot we're going to cover. Additionally, I do have to thank you guys. Normally my hair is a total mess in videos, but I recently got a haircut and I'm looking clean. And you guys just gave me so much love in the comments. Normally you're like, hey, another Gjeebs hairdo day, and that's true. I went into the barber and he said, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I usually just do shorter on the sides, longer on the top. He goes, you want your hair like mine? I go, yep. And that's how I arrived at this. So anyways, let's get into it. So this is the Autel MaxiCharger wall box, and this version is hardwired into my electrical box. Now they have various other versions that plug into NEMA 1450 adapters and whatnot, but I wanted to be hardwired in since the run was so short in my garage. I had Electrical Plug LLC do the install for me, and their information will be in the description. They did an awesome job and knocked out the install in less than 1 hour. Previously, when I did this on my own, the install took a day and a half. So I think it's worth it to get it professionally done, and that way you have the peace of mind that you're to code and everything is going to work properly. This Autel charger is a great third-party charger with a long cable. In fact, the cable is 25 feet long, so I'm able to charge my Tesla or any EV in both spots in a two-car garage. In addition to the long cable, you have this rubberized and really durable looking Autel plug. It has the Autel branding right there, and then I have my J1772 adapter so it can fit into the Tesla. And it's also nice for when I get press cars and things like that, I'll be able to plug them right into my garage with no adapter. So this is just a really clean looking thing. It's rubberized, it's rugged, so if you are using it at a business and charging people to use your Autel charger, you can be confident that this is going to withstand the public. Autel also has several versions of this, and I will have them linked in the description. That way you can go on their site and kind of check out all the various versions to see what works best for you. Additionally, if you're a business owner, this is probably the charger that you want to get because they have an RFID adapter that you're able to charge people for and put it on the map as a public charger. And I've not seen any other charger that has that feature, and that was a big reason as to why I was willing to do this video with Autel. Is they have some really unique features that I appreciate. This box is also weatherproof and can be mounted inside or outside depending on your living situation. Now for the install. So the first thing they did was put a 1-inch diameter hole in for the conduit, and then they took 6-gauge wire, and then the green one that you can see here is 10-gauge grounding wire. This is the line box that was put in on the outside, and then you can see it just runs right down here into my electrical box. I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to do a big long run. That's where these installs can get really expensive. So I was fortunate enough that the charger's just right on the other side of the wall here, and it's really clean, professionally done setup. Now all the directions are very straightforward that they send you with the charger, and then you also use a QR code on the side of the charger to connect to the app. Now on the last page of your user manual, there will be a PIN and QR code. That way you're easily able to log into the app so they immediately connect. So as we talked about earlier, you have the power button. This is not a touch screen, it's just showing you what's going on. So you have the power button, it's connected to the internet, it's plugged into the car. There's a Bluetooth button right here that's not lit up. And then also the RFID for people that you can charge them if you're gonna put this in a public setting. I just could see if you were a small business owner, if you had a hotel or something like that, and you were looking for these chargers to have installed, it would be really nice to be able to either just cover the costs or be able to turn this into a minor revenue stream, just a convenience factor for people to come in, charge their EV while they're doing whatever they're doing in your business. So I really like that feature. In fact, my wife might charge me for charging here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this will take up to 50 amps, so it's going to max out the onboard charger in my Tesla to 48 amps for level 2 charging at home. Now additionally, I have my charger scheduled for 11:15 p.m. at night. You can also have it scheduled through the Autel app. It's totally up to you. But the reason I'm doing it here, even though I have flat rate charging at home, because these are the hours when the grid is being used less. So I just want to put less stress on the grid, even though it doesn't cost me any more or less in the evening. The other nice thing is it charges the car so fast now that I don't have to worry about constantly having it on the charger all day long. I'm confident that it'll be done by the morning. Up to 80% is what I charge my car to, and then we're all set to go. I've recently changed the Model Y to 80% charging. Also, the pink wrap is leaving soon, the pink pig. The pink pig is coming to an end, folks, which a lot will be happy and some will be sad. But I charged it to 80% now. because that's what I've found is like the safest for the battery, just less pressure on the battery being charged up. That seems to be what most people agree on, so 80% is what I go to. When I was driving around every single day, I had it up to 90%. Either way, I think between 90 and 80% is pretty healthy for the battery, and the degradation that I've seen over the time that I've owned the car, over 50,000 miles now, is just around 10%. Now, also, the degradation in the battery does not continue to climb. So at 100,000 miles, I'm not going to be at 20%. It really tapers off around that 10% and then falls very gradually over time after that. These batteries should last, you should have 70% of your original capacity over 500,000 miles in a Tesla. Now, the other thing that's nice, like if you have a shop or something like that where you're going to be installing this charger, you're not going to have to go and deep dive into the settings of the car of when to charge and all of that. You can make that set time from the Autel app in your phone. So just again, from the Autel app in your phone. If you haven't bought an electric vehicle yet and you're thinking about it and you're doing all this research, probably the most important thing that you need to research first is how are you going to charge the car when you're at home. Now, having something like this is really nice because it's not stressful on the battery, it's better than supercharging, it's better than DC fast charging regardless of the electric vehicle you have, because you can't be constantly jamming electrons into your car at those supercharging speeds. That's for road trips, folks. You don't want to replace the gas station with going and sitting in line at superchargers for 30 minutes. That's not the goal of the EV. The goal of that is to be charging at home. You come in, you do this plug, it's beautiful, you have a gas station at your house. So you don't want to replace the gas station with chargers. You want to replace the gas station with a full tank of electricity every morning when you wake up with your charger. So that's one thing to research if you haven't bought an EV yet. And then the final thing, also just like Tesla with the over-the-air updates, this also gets over-the-air updates, which will help preserve the longevity of this charger over time, which again is another important feature. So I don't know, I'm really excited for this setup so far. Let me show you how this works here. So I'm gonna pop this off and then bring it over here. And the nice part about this is when it clicks in, this kind of rotates down. So again, you're not putting any stress on these cables or anything like that. It's really smart how they engineered that to be a moving piece. This seems to be like a hard plastic. This might be metal, the way it clicks in there. But yeah, it's just a really, really nice piece. And then put it back on here. And then it is 48 of 48 amps, 235 volts, 11 kilowatt hours, so only 40 minutes remaining compared to the hours that it would take me before to charge. This adapter is really good, and again, everything will be linked in the description.